Yeah, so again, just watching the tape, the biggest thing, the takeaway is creating turnovers, creating fumbles was a big part of our success, and then not turning the ball over was huge. We put up some good offensive numbers the first 4 games, but the games that we've won, we're plus in the turnover margin. The games that we have not won, we're minus in the turnover margin, so that was a big point of emphasis. We'll continue to be that way, and I think the guys understood that. The other piece was the finishing in the red zone, the 5 for 5. We've had some games where we've gotten down there and have come up with 0 points. So I think the biggest piece of it was actually getting down there and then finishing in those situations when they arose. The other piece, we're well documented in use of the catapult system and the GPS monitors that record every single thing that we do every day at practice and every game. And the cool thing, and I think Coach Horton has posted some of it, but it was some of our highest numbers that we've recorded on the catapult system. 2 of the cool things, we had 4 guys on the team go over 600 sprint distance yards. In the past, if we have guys above that 250, 300 mark, that's a really good day. If you're living in that 250, 300 yard mark, you're having a really good day and you're giving tremendous effort. We had 4 guys break 600 yards of sprint distance, which is amazing. Jalen Askew, Tobias Oliver, Demetrius Knight, and Josh Blancato. We also had 9 players hit over 21 miles an hour during the game, which is really good. Just really proud of how hard our guys played. Getting the football was huge for us. Some awards. Juice Crew, guys on the sidelines having energy, positivity. Michael Breimer, Albany Casey, Tucker Gleason, James Graham, Jalen Huff, Joseph Macrina, Mike May. Some developmental players of the week, very proud of them throughout the bye week and even into game week. Matthew Morgan on offense, Katavian Franks on defense, and then Tony Amerson. He could have gotten it either offense or special teams. He played so hard last week. And then the players of the game, Malachi Carter and Zach Quinney on offense, Jamin Brooks and David Curry on defense, and then Jerry Howard had a monster game for us on special teams. Really proud of him. And then for the second time this season, Jeff Sims was the ACC Rookie of the Week, and I think that makes us, Mike, 3 out of the 4 times on the season the ACC Rookie of the Week has come from the Georgia Tech program. So just really proud of the young guys' development, how they're playing, how they're trusting their teammates to help them play at such a high level at such a young age. So it really speaks to a lot about the culture that we're developing here. This Saturday, obviously we've got a big-time opponent coming into Bobby Dodd, but the other cool thing is we're going to honor the 1990 national championship team this weekend. We've won 4 of them. You'll see on our field we've got 4 national championship trophies painted in our end zones. The T-shirts that we're going to wear pre-game and under our pads are going to be honoring the tradition of Georgia Tech, and you'll see the 4 trophies on the back of our T-shirts as well. 11-0-1 undefeated national champions head coach Bobby Ross. Marco Coleman was an All-American on that team, and then our athletic director Todd Stansberry was the team's academic advisor. Just proud of how far he's come leading this program at such a high level. So just obviously excited to see everybody that can come to the game socially distant and with masks on, but just excited to play such a big-time opponent in our home stadium, noon ABC. So questions?
Okay, if you could, please use the raise hand function within Zoom if you have a question. We'll call on people individually, beginning with our first question from Kelly Quinlan from Rivals.com.
Hey, Kelly. Yeah, so it's a little different. Last year First game right out of the box, playing them, great atmosphere, great environment, great talent on both sides of the ball and special teams. The coaching staff they have does a great job, in all the phases of the game. But it goes back to the same thing we say every week is we've got to focus on ourselves. We've got to get better, learn from the things that we did well last Friday night, the things that we did poorly, make sure we're cleaning those up because the margin of error against such great players and coaches is very thin. And so we understand we've got a really good opponent, and we got to prepare at a high level to compete on Saturday.
Next question comes from Charles Odom from the Associated Press.
Hey, Charles.
Hey, Coach. Can you address the challenge for your defense facing the leadership this Clemson offense has with Trevor Lawrence and the running back at the end?
Yeah, obviously, I mean, two of the elite players in all of college football, and so we understand the work we've got cut out for us, not only in the passing game but in the running game. It's well documented that they're elite players at their position in all of college football, and we just got to play at a high level as well.
Next question comes from Rod McKenzie from 247 Sports.
Hey, Rod.
Hey, Geoff. Good morning. Hey, how big was the timing of the bye week as far as moving on from Syracuse and making all the corrections you made to have the showing you did against Louisville?
Yeah, I think anytime. I mean, the bye weeks, you can't predict when you're going to get them, and you just got to make the most of every opportunity. The thing you learn a lot of times from losses that are some things that were in your control that you didn't take care of, and you end up losing. The focus that our guys had, the attention to detail our coaches had for our guys. Was really good, and the thing that I still go back to is I don't think we handled the opener when we got a big time win on the road. I don't think we handled that very well, but it speaks to the leadership in this organization. It's not midnight Friday night after we beat Louisville that Trey Swilling hopped on our leadership group text and was already talking about handling this the right way, handling everything that we do moving forward at a high level, do the things that we did to have success throughout the bye week and in week of preparation for Louisville. We've got to continue to build on those, not revert back to old habits and act like we've arrived. And I thought that was a huge moment for him. And then that messaging within that group text has continued in that manner. They came out here today, had a really good Tuesday practice, and it's all for the leadership that's been developed in this program, the guys that take pride in that piece of it and understand that as you're developing and we're building this program, those kind of acts and understanding of the leadership piece is huge.
Next question comes from Ken Segura from the Atlanta Journal-Constitution.
Hey, Ken.
Hey, Geoff. You touched on it a little bit, but I'm going to assume, obviously, it's a big game for you, but it's also just the next game and another game. And I'm curious, how do you balance, making sure your players, kind of like you're saying, that they're aware and you can't act like you've arrived, but also not build it up so much. So, how do you approach that?
Sure, and just the way we do every single thing that we do, stay one day at a time, stay 1 week at a time, focus on ourselves, even though we know we've got a big-time opponent coming in here on Saturday. We've got to take care of ourselves. We just had a really good Tuesday practice. All the normal down game plan, the normal down blitz packages, all of those things, a couple of situations that we do. Focus on those periods, focus on those moments. We'll come back this afternoon. We'll have meetings and watch the tape. And then we'll have another Wednesday practice tomorrow with our process, just understanding this is what we do, and we've got to be completely focused every moment of every day to do that. I was really proud, and I just shared this story with the team. I watched David Curry today. He got his reps versus the developmental squad. And then when he wasn't having his reps, he went and stood 40 yards behind the defense so that he could see Coach Thacker's signals. He could see the alignments, the formations, the backfield sets, how he was going to apply, and he got mental reps every single time. He did not waste a minute the entire time that he was out here. And if anybody watched David play Friday night against Louisville, it was very intuitive because he had watched so much tape, he had studied so much, he knew how he fit within the framework of the defense and was able to execute and play ridiculously fast and at a high level. And it all goes back to preparation. He's developed a process over the last 18 months, and he is doing that at a very high level, and I'm really proud of him. And there's some other guys that are seeing the success that David's having and trying to emulate the little things that DC is doing so well. And so just execute the process, do what we do, and try to improve on it every single week and get ready to play at a high level on Saturday.
Another question from the Atlanta Journal-Constitution, this time from Bailey Johnson.
Hey, bud.
Hey, Geoff. Obviously, Malachi Carter had a big game on Friday. You mentioned he was one of the offensive players of the game. Just wondering how you've seen him develop from last year into this year.
Yeah, and I think that kind of goes back to Malachi works so hard. I mean, if you saw his catapult numbers at practice, I mean, they're through the roof every single day. He just goes so hard. Then when he gets to the games, that's just how he's wired to play that way. And, you know, some games he gets a lot of targets and he gets a lot of balls thrown to him. Some games not so much based on the rotation or the coverage or the progression, but he plays so hard every single play. And he had some great catches and he had some big-time moments in the win Friday night. But one of my favorite plays for Malachi was 2 minutes before the half. We throw the little check down to Jameer and pops it for about 40. Two key blocks on that play were Malachi Carter and Amarian Brown, blocking downfield at a high level within the framework of the body and being unbelievable teammates. And you just see Malachi work every single day. The way he comes out here, his attention to detail, his focus, his demeanor, he plays every single play like it's Friday night ESPN, Saturday at noon ABC. It doesn't change for him because that's just the way he's wired. And just really proud of how he's developed. The job Kerry Dixon has done with Malachi, Andrew Thacker, with David Curry, teaching them our process, how to apply it, and to get results and get all the things that come from having an unbelievable work ethic and an unbelievable process. But yeah, Malachi played really good. Really, really proud of him.
Next question is another one from Charles Odom from the Associated Press.
Hey, Charles.
Hey, you spoke Saturday about how this team has a chance to be really good in the present, and taking into account, you know, the rebuild job that you faced starting last year, you've referenced so many times. Do you find yourself thinking that you're ahead of the schedule that you expected to be at?
Yeah, I don't get too caught up on that. I'm just focused on where we are right now as a team, where we are right now as a program, how we can improve every single day. I don't worry about the benchmarks that I think outside people do. I see where we are. I see ways we can improve every single day. And it's a relentless battle to attack all of those things. And at any time that it slips a little bit, then I've got to refocus and get everybody in the organization to refocus to make sure we're developing and building and becoming the team that we can be, we should be, we will be. I have high expectations. I know what the end result is going to be, but then at some point, there's going to be another step we're going to have to take, and it's just the building blocks that come with it. And I'm blessed to be around such amazing people every single day that share the vision, that want to be great at what they do, that want to be the best that they can every single day, and they inspire others and they work together toward that end. And so that's what we're trying to do every single day. It's a relentless pursuit to be as good as we can possibly be. And, you know, we've got some really good talent that we're blessed to coach right now, and some young talent that we're developing at a high level. But just really proud of the guys.
Another question from Kelly Quinlan from Rivals.
Coach, can you talk a little bit about Antonius and now you have Jordan Dominic and Antonius pushing and how much that helps your kind of makeshift D-line that's still not really what you probably thought it would be going into the season in terms of personnel?
Yeah, so they just want to make a announcement. So Sylvain was playing at a really high level for us. Sylvain's going to be out for the season, and so just really sad for him, but excited about his future. But it is nice to have built a lot of depth at that position. We've been down some defensive linemen throughout the year. Obviously, we lost TK before the season even began for the year. But just the way Larry Knight and Marco Coleman have developed that unit is so much more improved than at any point last year. Just the understanding of the scheme, understanding of our fundamentals, understanding of technique, understanding how we play the game along the front, and then to have been able to develop guys like Curtis Ryans. Antonius is playing really, really well. Jordan Dominic, Chico Bennett. And then we got some young guys. Jared Ivey, Kyle Kennard have been playing. Emmanuel Johnson. So that's 3 true freshmen that have been playing. Akilo Stone has been playing. And I think the way we rotate our defensive line is the big guys can get worn down if you're asking them to play 60, 70 plays a game. We don't do that with our guys. We keep fresh guys in, rolling, so they know they can play at a high level. In 3.5 years of us being fully invested in the catapult unit, fully invested in tracking our players in practice and in the games, Antonius Clayton shattered every record that we've had at the defensive line position Friday night against Louisville. And there's been some ballers that have been at that position that have played for us and that are now playing in the NFL at those positions. So just really proud of him, his demeanor, his attitude, everything that he's been through in his collegiate career, even since he's been here, and how he's managed it with class, with poise, with grace. Been a great teammate, is turning into a great leader in this program, and just really, I've known him since he's 16 years old, and the man that Antonius Clayton has become and is even growing into even more and more. I can't say enough. There's not enough time on this call to explain how proud I am of Antonius.
Okay, we've got time for a couple more for Coach Collins. We'll start the first one from Ken Segura from the AJC, and then we'll wrap up with Rod McKenzie from 247 Sports.
Hey, Geoff, obviously I'm sure you're doing everything you can with the place kicking to get that figured out. So kind of what do you do, or what can you do now to shore that up?
Yep, same thing we do every day, Ken. We got to work and work and work every single day, and the guys are doing it, and continue every single day to get better.
And last question from Rod McKenzie.
Hey, Rob.
Hey, Geoff, going back to Clemson and their offense, you have everybody talks naturally about Trevor Lawrence, but it seems like ETN means a lot more to that offense with all the different things that he can do. Talk a little bit about him, if you would.
Yeah, he's a great player. I think their roster is filled with great players. Watching their offensive line, they're doing a really good job. The tight ends, they're featuring them a lot this year. There's not. You look personnel on both sides of the ball. Offense, defense, and even special teams. They've got great players, all across the roster. So I don't want to discount anyone in comparison. But yeah, the running back Etienne, he's a great player, dynamic player, a great running back, running the football, and then he's dynamic out of the backfield, catching the ball as well. So we know we've got a big challenge. Saturday noon, ABC.